All right, imagine for a second that you actually have a hidden guardian living inside your body, a biological protector, and its entire existence is dedicated to keeping you alive, managing your energy, and preparing you for literally the absolute worst-case scenarios. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to unlock the secrets of one of the most fascinating systems inside you, your adrenal gland. Throughout our time together, we're going to look at exactly how this master of survival dictates our bodies, basically stepping in to completely take over whenever we face extreme danger.
Okay, let's dive into this. You know those incredible, almost unbelievable stories of an ordinary mom suddenly lifting a 2-ton overturned car to save her trapped child? Or maybe you've heard of a hiker sprinting at just unimaginable speeds to escape a predator. It sounds like magic, right? Or kind of like a scene straight out of a comic book. But I assure you, it's pure medical science. This superhuman strength isn't a miracle. It's a rapid, intense biological response orchestrated entirely by your adrenal gland. And get this, it achieves this incredible feat in mere seconds, temporarily giving you the sheer physical power to do whatever it takes to survive.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The Superman Protocol. 2. The Command Chain. 3. Hormone families. 4. Deficiency danger. 5. Overdrive threat. And 6. Protecting your guardian.
Part 1. The Superman Survival Protocol. Unlocking superhuman strength.
Now, the most astonishing thing about your hidden guardian is its speed. It doesn't need hours or even minutes to plan. When emotional pressure, sudden anger, extreme shock, or intense fear strikes, preparation happens in seconds. Deciding exactly what the danger is, well, that's the brain's job. But the adrenal gland's job is to instantly implement emergency protocols to give you the physical capability you need to face that danger head-on.
We can define this as the adrenal survival response. Essentially, your guardian temporarily transforms you into a biological Superman. It triggers massive waves of energy, meaning a weak person can suddenly defeat an enemy twice their strength, or a slow runner can sprint so fast they literally can't be caught. But there is a catch here. This extraordinary state is strictly temporary. It is incredibly dangerous to maintain long-term because it taxes your heart immensely and it rapidly depletes your metabolic energy reserves. Your body simply can't sustain that extreme level of biological output for long.
Moving on to Part 2, the brain's command chain, how the body communicates danger.
Because this massive energy drain is so incredibly risky, our bodies actually have a brilliant, automatic internal system to manage these emergencies and return us to normal safely. Let's see how this builds through a very precise biological chain of command. Step 1. The sudden stress or fear activates the hypothalamus in your brain, which assesses the situation and sends a chemical signal to the nearby master gland, the pituitary gland. Step 2. The pituitary gland gets this request for resources and drops a specific hormone called ACTH straight into the bloodstream. Step 3. That ACTH acts like a blaring chemical alarm bell, traveling directly to the inner part of your adrenal gland, the adrenal cortex. The moment the cortex receives this signal, it knows exactly what to do and immediately ramps up production.
Once that cortex is activated, it executes a flawless emergency checklist. It surges the production of noradrenaline and adrenaline. It immediately goes to work stabilizing your blood pressure in the face of absolute chaos. It ensures a continuous, steady flow of blood goes to your most vital organs, and crucially, it rapidly converts stored fat and protein into sugar, flooding your system with the instant energy you need to either fight for your life or run away. This automatic system ensures that energy depletion is managed before it becomes fatal, bringing everything back to baseline as soon as possible.
Which brings us to Part 3, 3 vital hormone families. The cortex's arsenal.
To keep your body perfectly balanced, the cortex actually delegates its responsibilities by dividing its hormones into 3 distinct groups, and this brilliantly illustrates how specialized it all is. The first is the cortisone family. Their job is deeply metabolic. They convert the fats, carbohydrates, and proteins from your food into vital life energy, literally making them part of your living tissue. The second group has an entirely different but equally crucial job, maintaining the delicate balance of water and minerals inside your body. Finally, the third group is totally responsible for managing and regulating your body's sexual needs and functions. Every single function is compartmentalized, so the body just operates like a well-oiled machine.
But this is where it gets truly exhausting for your hidden guardian. These specific hormones cannot be stored up for a rainy day. Get this. Every single hormone produced by the cortex is completely destroyed and replaced after just 2 hours. That means the adrenal cortex has to work continuously, around the clock, producing fresh batches every 2 hours just to keep you alive and functioning. It literally never gets a break.
Part 4. The danger of deficiency, when the Guardian fails.
So what happens when this hard-working Guardian actually fails? Well, if the cells of the adrenal cortex are damaged by an accident or a severe illness, the results are just absolutely devastating. When the cortex fails to produce enough hormones, the body's protective balance totally collapses, leaving it completely vulnerable. Dozens of diseases can attack all at once, and the physical symptoms are severe. The patient's skin actually turns a dark copper color, almost as if it's bronzed. Digestion completely shuts down, severe anemia sets in, muscles literally begin to waste and melt away, which leads to dramatic, dangerous drops in both weight and blood pressure. Add in severe nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, and the patient rapidly becomes so weak their body is essentially shutting down entirely.
Now, in the past, suffering from this kind of cortex failure basically meant a fatal decline. There was just no real way to halt the systemic collapse. But thankfully, medical science has advanced incredibly since then. Today, this terrifying condition is highly manageable because synthetic artificial hormones are readily available. Human ingenuity can now step in exactly where biology fails. By providing these synthetic hormones medically, we can do the job of the damaged cortex and completely save the patient's life.
Part 5. The threat of overdrive, when hormones go too far. Okay, so we've seen what happens when there aren't enough hormones. But a surplus, an excess of these powerful chemicals, is actually equally dangerous. While deficiency literally starves the body, the opposite extreme, overdrive, is just as terrifying. Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is that if the adrenal gland even slightly overproduces the cortisone family, the body essentially cannibalizes itself. Instead of wasting away from starvation, the muscles are aggressively turned into sugar. Essential minerals just disappear from the bones, leaving them fragile and hollowed out. Fat rapidly starts to accumulate, specifically around the belly and the back, while overall memory begins to severely fail.
And consider another specific hormone from that second group we talked about, aldosterone, which controls your water and minerals. If the gland oversupplies aldosterone by an amount as tiny as the head of a pin, literally a pinhead, the consequences are disastrous. Vital potassium is rapidly lost through urine, while harmful salts are retained. This leads to severe muscle weakness and potentially even paralysis of certain body parts. And as a direct result of that retained salt, blood pressure spikes to unbelievable levels, the heart rate multiplies, and the person suffers from constant, unbearable headaches, all from an excess the size of a pinhead.
But it is vital to understand that your adrenal gland never inflicts this agony on purpose. It's a guardian, not an enemy. These states of overdrive are very often caused by a localized tumor developing near or even on the gland itself, which forcefully disrupts those normal regulatory systems. But the remarkable news here is that if doctors step in and surgically remove the tumor, the amazing automatic systems of the adrenal gland immediately reset, and all of these terrible difficulties just naturally resolve themselves.
Finally, Part 6, Protecting Your Adrenal Glands, a peace treaty with your body. We've seen how this gland shields you from agonizing difficulties and provides you with the raw energy to experience joy, survival, and safety. But, it needs your help. Imagine your adrenal gland speaking directly to you right now. It says, if you free yourself from unnecessary worry, jealousy, despair, and hatred, you will never have a complaint from me. So the crucial point is that our psychological states, our chronic negative emotional choices, they actually act as a direct attack on our biological protectors. Constant worry and anger forces gland to work overtime, keeping you in a relentless state of stress that drains your energy and actively risks your long-term health.
You now know exactly how hard your adrenal gland works to keep you alive, functioning, and completely balanced. It is constantly adapting, second by second, to the exact environment you put it in. So the ultimate question I want to leave you with is this: will you make the conscious choice to free yourself from unnecessary stress and negative emotions to protect your hidden guardian? Seriously, think about how your daily emotional habits are directly dictating your physical health. Take care of your hidden guardian, and for sure, it will take care of you. Thank you so much for exploring the science of survival with me in this explainer.